This is a review on your first quiz. The purpose of the quiz itself is to prepare you for PTS. Hopefully, after watching this video, you have a better understanding of the grammar and you are ready for your test on Friday. Question number 1. We have John and we want to connect John with another noun, an office worker. When you want to combine a noun with another noun, you need a to be. So in this case, John is an office worker. We can choose B, C, or D in this case. Let's go on with the second sentence. He blank to work at 7 a.m. in the morning. In the morning means every morning. When you use this time signal, you have to use simple present tense. So the answer to this is either D or B. He goes to work at 7 a.m. in the morning. Let's go on with the third sentence. He blank in the living room at the moment. At the moment is now. We use the present continuous tense when we use at the moment. So in this case, the answer to this is he is sitting. We are only left with option B. Let's look at the last sentence to confirm that B is the correct answer. He blank to work on Saturdays. Please pay attention to that time signal. You have S at the end of Saturdays. So it happens to more than just one Saturday. So it happens again and again. When this happens again and again, we have to use present simple. So the answer to this is he doesn't go to work on Saturdays. Let's go on with the next sentence. The next sentence has something to do with simple past tense, contrasted with past continuous tense. Simple past tense is used when we want to show something that happened in the past. For example, I saw you yesterday. We use past continuous tense to show that an action was in progress at a specific time in the past. For example, I was meeting Tom at this moment yesterday. Or to contrast it with another action that happened for a shorter period of time. Let's go on with the question itself. Mary blank at the library this morning. Mary is the subject. At the library is an adverb of place. When you want to combine these two, you need a to be. Since it happened this morning, which is a time signal that you use for past actions, the answer to this is Mary was at the library this morning. The answer is either A or C. Let's go on with the next sentence. She blanked the third Harry Potter novel when I blanked her this morning. You have two actions happening at the same time, at about the same time. One of them is reading, the other is meeting. Out of the two actions, the reading takes longer. So, the answer to this is she was reading the third Harry Potter novel when I met her this morning. The answer to this is D. Let's go on with the next question. The next question has something to do with future tenses. You have been taught two types of future tenses. The first one is will followed by verb 1, which is used for future actions. I will go home later, or prompt decision or sudden decision. Why is the door open? I'll close it for you. And to be going to. When you use to be going to, you use it for prediction with signs. For example, look at the sky. It's very dark. It is going to rain. Or plans. I'm going to travel to Bali next month. Let's go on with the sentence itself. When the bell rings, the bell hasn't rung, but it will ring in the future. When the bell rings, I will go home. Remind yourself about this. When you have the word when, by the time, as soon as, and those type of stuff, when we refer it to the future tense, we use it in present tense. For example, I will go home when the bell rings. Go on. On my way home from school, I blank at BEC, as my mom has told me to pick up a laptop at one of the shops. You do not always go to BEC after school. Your mom asks you to stop there. So, There was a plan. You have to go there. So in this case, the answer to this is I am going to stop. The answer to this is A. Let's go on with the next one. Present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. When we use present perfect tense, which is subject followed by has or have followed by verb 3, we are interested in the result, and we usually use it for non-continuous verbs. For example, I have been to Bali 3 times. That's the result, 3 times. Or for non-continuous verbs, I have understood you, because understand cannot be used in ing form. The second one, present perfect continuous tense, subject followed by has, have, followed by been, followed by verb ing. We usually use this when we are interested in the length of time. Let's begin. James blank all day. When you stress on all day, we don't know whether the action is finished or not. So we are interested in the length of time. The answer to this is James has been working all day. He is not finished as he has only done half of it. The answer to this is C. Half is the result. It's not finished. He still has another half to do because he has only done half of it. Let's go on with the next sentence. The next question. The next question has something to do with past perfect tense. We use past perfect tense to show another action that happened a lot more to the past than another past action. So if you have two past actions, the one that happened a lot more to the past should use this form. When the teacher blanked the other students to hand in the homework, I blanked it. It was already on his table. When the teacher, we specify the time, when. So the answer to this is when the teacher told the other students to hand in the homework, I had already done it. How do you know that it was done? That it happened a lot more to the past than the command from the teacher? Because what I did was already on the table. Next. When blank question mark at 4 p.m. yesterday. We are interested in when, so the answer is when did James pick you up? The second question, blank when he came to pick you up. Of course. So the answer to this is were you ready? Because at the time when he got to your house, were you ready? Yeah. How do you know that you were ready? Because of the third question. Blank before he came to pick me up. What did he do before he came to pick you up? He had already called me. He had called me before he came to pick me up. So the answer to this is B. Next, in order to and so that for purpose. When we use in order to, we follow it up with a subordinate clause. When we use so that, we follow it up with a sentence. Example, I work hard, blank, be successful. Be successful is a subordinate clause. So the answer to this is in order to. As for the second sentence, I also have a habit of studying before a test, blank, I may get a good mark. I may get a good mark is a full sentence. You have a subject, you have a modal, and then you have a verb and an object. I may get a good mark. So the answer to that is so that. The answer is A. Let's go on with wish. Wish is an unreal condition, something that is not actually the reality. For example, you are at school. You do not want to be at school. So you wish you were at home. You go to school every day. You don't want to go to school every day. So you wish you didn't go to school every day. The use of wish is like this. We use the simple past when we talk about present situation, just like the one that I mentioned. I am here. You don't want to be here, so I wish I weren't here. You take a step back. As for past actions that happened in the past, you use past perfect for past situation. For example, I was at school when the fact is you didn't want to be at school yesterday. I was at school, it becomes I wish I hadn't been at school. I didn't come on time. I wish I had been on time. Or I wish I had come on time. Let's look at the question. I wish I blank more time to do the test as I only have 10 more minutes before the bell rings. So we are talking about present situation because the bell is about to ring now. So you want something to be different with the reality in the present. So I wish I had because the fact is you do not have more time. You take a step back from reality, you don't have time, so it becomes I wish I had more time. The second sentence, I also wish that I blank last night, so I know the answer. There is something that you didn't do last night, and as a result, you do not know the answer. You regret something that you didn't do in the past. You didn't study. So, you take a step back from the second type, it becomes past perfect. I wish I had, or in this case, we use the word study. So, I wish I had studied last night. I wish I had more time because the fact is you do not have more time. I wish I had studied because the fact is you didn't study. Next, this is a label. The question for this is which warning sign about the label is incorrect? Look at option A. Must be refrigerated. As you can see, option A is correct. Second one, discard after 10 days, throw it away after 10 days. This is also correct. Third one, shake it well after using it. If you noticed, it is mentioned shake well before using it. So this one is wrong. The one that is wrong is C. Next, what should you do to make all the powder flows freely? Find the words powder flows freely and you will be able to find the answer. Tap bottle until all powder flows freely. So the answer to this is D. For this question, we are being asked to use play, do, or go. For football, we use play. So Tom plays football once a week. For the second one, after the blank, we have camping. We use go for camping. So he also goes camping at the weekend. He also blank the gardening. You have an ing form, but before the ing form, you have the word the gardening. When you have this type of actions, you need to use do. So in this case, he also does the gardening with his dad on Sundays as they don't have a gardener. Next question. While Tom blank listened to the radio, while showed an action that was happening in the past, that was in progress in the past. So the answer to this is while Tom was listening, he fell asleep because out of the two actions, the listening takes longer than the falling asleep. And as a result, he banged his head because after falling asleep, he banged his head. One action after the other. Next, bang his head against the desk. The second sentence, he blanked his homework at that time. What you need to concentrate on in this part of the sentence is the phrase at that time. When you have at that time, we use past continuous tense. So the answer to this is he was doing his homework at that time. He blanked 20 numbers. 20 numbers is the result. the result that was already done in the past. Something that had been done in the past should be in a past perfect tense. So the answer to this is had done. And when the incident happened, because when you use when, we are interested in the time signal. When we use past tense. The answer to this is happen. He stopped working and got some ice from the fridge to relieve the pain. Next question. James blank me to blank the car from the garage and blanked it home 2 days ago. The time signal is 2 days ago. So this is in a past form. James told me. But before the second blank, you have the word to. And what you need to remember is you follow to with an infinitive form. Infinitive is verb 1. So in this case, the answer is get. And the last one is drive. Why? Because James told me to get the car. James told me to drive it home. You combine the two sentences into James told me to get the car from the garage and drive it home. Next, the parts of the body that is on top of my neck is the one that is above your neck is your head. The boxer's nickname is Glass Blank, as he often gets knocked out when his opponents hit his chin. Another word for chin is jaw, glass jaw. Next, I breathe through my blank. The part of the body that you use to breathe is your nose. The last sentence. The digits at the end of my hands are, at the end of your hands, you have your fingers. So the answer to this is D. Okay, that's it from me. Godspeed and good luck. Hopefully you can do the test well on Friday.